Hello everybody, this is Mike Payton, professional EOS implementer and a co-author with my friend Lisa Gonzalez of the book Process, one of the books in the Traction Library. And today I want to dive a little more deeply into the process, which is something we share in the book that pulls together all of the EOS tools and concepts that help leadership teams of entrepreneurial companies get better at getting your core processes consistently followed by all. The tool I want to focus on today is the 3-step process documenter, so called because there are 3 steps. So let's dive more deeply into step 1, identify. In order to complete step 1 effectively when you're using the 3-step process documenter, you've got to get your entire leadership team in a room together, and you need to answer together the question, what are our handful of core processes? One of the things we're trying to do when we teach the EOS way of strengthening the process component is resist the temptation to document everything, 100% of the steps in 100% of the processes to get 100% compliance. That's not an entrepreneurial company. That's a big corporation or a government agency with a lot of red tape. And so the first thing we've got to do is decide which of the things that we do every week do we need to do the same way every time and which don't need to be done that way. And that's what this exercise is all about. It involves about an hour in a room with everybody brainstorming what your handful of core processes might be. Things like your people process, your marketing process, your sales process, a handful of operating processes. We get all your ideas up on the board, then we keep, kill, and combine until you agree on somewhere between 5 and 12 core processes, and that becomes the table of contents for your process improvement work. You then move to step 2, and one at a time, the owner of each process, the logical person who's accountable for the result we're trying to get with that process, documents and simplifies his or her core process. This requires a simple 5-step approach that starts with possibly the simplest idea in the history of business. You gotta observe the way this is being done right now. Just observe. Try not to be too critical. Don't reach in and fix anything. Just watch to see how you're doing this thing. Let's call it your people or talent or HR process, and take notes so you're fully aware of the current situation. Then I want you to evaluate what's working and not working that you've observed. And when you do that evaluation, what you're going to notice is there's opportunities for improvement, efficiency, streamlining, and automation. And that is what we mean by the 3rd step, which is simplifying each core process. We've got to look for ways to eliminate redundancies and unnecessary steps, eliminate places where batons are being dropped right and left, automate things that should be done automatedly instead of manually. That's what Simplify is all about. When you're done with that, you simply need to present a draft of the way you believe it should be done every time to get the best result to your leadership team, and then your leadership team needs to review and approve that core process. And usually there's some negotiation, some tweaking, and some improvement that happens, and you ultimately agree this is the right way to do our people process every day for the rest of our lives. The last step in the 3-step process documenter is package. And this may not sound as important as these other 2 things I've just shared, but it's equally important. Because a common mistake entrepreneurial companies make is they don't think about how to make their core processes easy to find and use. That's why you see these big SOP manuals and formats for core processes that just don't work for the people who need to use them. And so I'd urge you to think about who's going to use each process. Pick the format that's going to serve them best. It might be a simple Word document in an outline format. It might be virtual reality. It might be anything in between, including workflow diagrams, photos or screenshots back to back. It might be videos. Any of that can work. and then package each of your core processes so they're easy to find and use. If you do that work as part of the 3-step process documenter implementation process, you're about halfway to getting your core processes followed by all, and halfway to getting more consistently exceptional results in your business. If that excites you, please visit eosworldwide.com. Consider downloading the 3-step process documenter and ordering a copy of the book. We want to help you get everything you want from your business.